So yeah, I'm hoping that all of you are okay, you're safe at home, and you're ready to practice some English. Today we're going to move on a little bit in our book. We are going to finish up lesson 3 in unit 1. And then we're going to move on to unit 2. We're going to talk about sensory verbs. I'm going to tell you what that is. And I'm going to have you describe some things. That's the idea. So the main purpose of today's class, the main objective, is to be able to describe something or even people. All right, so that's what we need to do today. It's been a long time since we last saw each other. I think it's been very long. So yeah, I have been missing you guys. Hope that you have been missing the English classes too. And also, I hope that we can reintegrate everything we have been practicing in the previous weeks. So let me start sharing the book so we can remember where we are on this book. Let me go to the beginning of the book. So yeah, we started with, of course, unit 1. And what we did here is just to review the present continuous. We had a look at some vocabulary related to activities, especially social activities or studying, things like that. We use the present continuous to talk about what you have been doing lately or what things you are learning, you are practicing, you are doing, etc. So we've already finished with this unit. And then we moved on to lesson 2. And in lesson 2, we talked about the past simple. So we were talking about everything that we did in the past. One important thing is that we talked about milestones. Some of you didn't make it to the milestones class, but most of you did, and we were practicing that. And I was learning a few more things about you because I'm still getting to know you guys. So whenever you are talking with your classmates, I'm listening and I'm getting some information about you. So can anybody remind me what milestones are? Does anybody remember milestones? What does it mean? You can tell me in Spanish or in English. What does milestones mean?
Milestones are, I don't know how to say, hitos.
Hitos?
I say hitos in Spanish.
In Spanish. And what are hitos? Are important things?
Important event.
There you go. Important events. Important events in your own life, important events in your country, in the history of the world, etc. So yeah, milestones. But we were talking about milestones regarding your own lives. I told you to tell your partner everything that has happened in your life since you were born. So you had to start by saying, I was born on 19 something something. I started school in 19 something something, etc. So you were supposed to talk about everything that has happened in your life since you were born up to this point. There has been many milestones in your life. So yeah, that's what we did. So we talked about milestones to review the past simple, to kind of practice past simple. All of you did a very good job that day. I was listening to you guys and I was very happy with the results. I just need to tell you that sometimes some people, not all of you, forget to use the verbs in the past and use the verb in the present when talking about the past. So yeah, you have to be more careful with that, more conscious about it. When you're talking about the past, use the past. Don't come to the present. So yeah, there we go. We finished the milestones activity, and then we closed the class because I told you that you need to buy the book, and yeah, I told you that you needed to enroll to the platform. So now that we are on the topic of the book, I need to see how many of you have already bought the book. So let me stop sharing and let me ask you again. I'm going to create a poll just because I need to see who is already working on their books. I don't know where my poll is, and I did it. Yeah, I'm going to create another one because I lost the previous one, although I saved it, but I don't know what happened. Okay, so the idea is that you need to get the book so I can start giving you homework related to it and we can start practicing it. All right, so I'm going to launch the poll right now and I need to see. And that's not my poll. Yes, all right, let me launch it. What did I do? Let me relaunch it. Okay, here it is. So tell me, did you buy the book already? Be honest, this is anonymous. So
Yes, but not. No, sorry.
how does that work? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, all right.
I forgot the microphone opened. Sorry.
All right, no worries. All right, so we have more people who bought the book. I'm happy. All right, yeah, and now we can start talking about the book more confidently and yeah, good. All righty, let me share with you. So this is information that you got to know. All right, by the end of the class, we need to talk about next classes. Well, I don't want to start with bad news, but yeah. Let's talk about that by the end of the class. Now that I know that all of you, or most of you, have the book, we can start working on it very confidently. I'm going to share some exercises, etc. All right, so let's go there. We have already finished lesson 2 in unit 1. We are not going to continue here, but we are moving on to lesson 3. That's on page 10 on your books. So if you want to follow this while using your book, that's perfect. So let's talk about the vocabulary first. Well, first, today's idea at the beginning of the class, like right now, is to make and respond to invitations, right? So we are going to see how well you are when it comes to inviting people to do something with you in English, of course. Then this is something that sometimes it's very easy because it's just like putting together some verbs and yeah, the place where you want to go. But we are going to learn a few more ways of suggesting things to do with another person. So, for example, you can invite somebody to go to a concert with you. That's a word that we already know. Or you can go to a play, which is far more interesting. What is a play? Does anybody know what a play is? I'm talking about this one.
Like a show, maybe.
Like a show. What kind of show?
Maybe a kind of theater.
There you go.
Act.
Yes.
An act, a session of acts, maybe.
Yes. Perfect. Yes. It's a show, that's right, but it's a theater show. A theater show where you go to see people acting. How do we call that in Spanish? Does anybody know? You don't know Spanish? Oh my gosh.
Obra de teatro.
There you go. Thank you very much, Anna. Yes. A theater play, then it's obra de teatro. So a play is a very versatile word in English. Sometimes it means to play, like jugar, something. Also, it may mean to play an instrument, for example, tocar un instrumento. And in this case, it means play una obra de teatro, right? So it's very versatile. Depending on where you're using this word, it has different meanings. But tonight we are focusing on this meaning, obra de teatro. Right, so yeah, that's the idea. You can invite somebody to go to a play with you or to go to a restaurant. We know what that is. Go to a museum. A museum also, and then let's go back to the beginning of this. And then you can go sightseeing. What is sightseeing? This word, I think we don't have this word in Spanish. Does anybody know what sightseeing means?
So when you visit some place and you can see everything, something new, new place, a new space,
Yeah,
new
perfect.
place.
Yeah, thank you very much, Helmut. Yeah, it's like when you go, as Helmut says, go to another place, whatever place that is, and you visit everything. So, what does sight mean? Sight. Does anybody know this word?
Mirar.
Okay, and seeing? Mirar also.
Like verb, it's like a verb in the conjugation.
Okay, yes.
Plus ing, I don't know.
Plus
Sightseeing.
ing.
Sight podría ser, could be
The noun.
vista.
Vista, there you go, vista. Yes, yes. This is important for the second part of the class because we're going to talk about the senses, okay, but the five
It's
senses.
sense now.
Yes, so sight is vista, vista. And then seeing, it's the verb see. So go sightseeing is like go around and seeing things, yeah? We usually do this in new cities when we visit new places. Yep. And in Spanish, I would say it's something similar to turistear, I would say. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's like when you go to another place. Very good. Thank you very much. So go sightseeing. You can invite somebody to go sightseeing with you. Even in your own city, that's possible. Go souvenir shopping when you are in a different place and you buy some things for your loved ones, especially. And you can also go on a tour. You can go on a tour by walking, by bus. You can go on a tour by this kind of scooters or something like that. So yeah, there are different ways on which you can go on a tour, right? So these are just activities that you can do wherever you are. But the idea, keep the focus, is that you want to invite somebody to do something with you. That's the focus. And let's complete this activity. All right, so we have to interpret the images first because it's not that clear. Let me get my pen, and we have the instruction is this one. Write one activity from A1, the previous vocabulary under each picture. Some pictures can have more than one activity. So here, what do we have? I think this is like kind of a coffee, and that would be like a croissant or something like that.
That's like half a moon.
Ah, the half moon.
Half moon, sorry.
Yes, that's what we call it in Spanish. I don't think they call it that in English.
A croissant.
Yeah, maybe a croissant, yeah. Yes.
Croissant.
All right, then we have tickets. Tickets are for many places, not only for one place. Then we have a map. That's very relatable. That is like a shopping bag, I would say. And finally, we have this, which could be like a museum, maybe a university, an art gallery, etc.
The White House. Who knows?
The White House. Yes. Yeah, so it could be many interesting buildings. Now, what we need to do is to match these pictures with the previous activities. Let me move this a little bit because we need to see the activities. We cannot see all of them. But yeah, we can go to a concert, a play, a restaurant, a museum, sightseeing, souvenir shopping, and on a tour. So where can we find these things? Can we find these things when we go sightseeing? I don't think so.
In a restaurant.
In a restaurant.
Could
Yeah.
be.
In a restaurant. Is there any place where you can find coffee? A cafe?
A coffee shop.
The coffee shop, yes. Thank you very much. Coffee shop. And I think there is a cafeteria almost everywhere. So I would say like maybe in the museum, there's also a cafeteria.
But how do you say the little stores that there are on streets like kioscos? How
Oh,
do you say
yeah.
that? Kiosco?
In English, they are called the same kiosk without the final O.
Kiosk. Oh.
Kiosk. Yes. Yeah, the little stores. Yeah, you can also find coffee in those
Ambulant
places.
sellers.
Yeah. Yeah, ambulance sellers. Oh, we also call them street vendors.
Street vendors.
Yes. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we can find coffee in those places. Remember that in English we have two words. We can call them cafe, which is the French word cafe, or we call them also cafeteria, and American people call them coffee shop. Coffee shop, coffee place, all those words. So yeah, you have three options there. All right, and where do we need a ticket? We don't need a ticket to go sightseeing. Definitely no. So where do we need a ticket?
To
Maybe.
go to see a match, a football match.
A football match. I
Concert.
agree. Yeah, a concert, definitely. Concert. Juan Carlos, you want to say something?
Yes, teacher, good night. Go
Hi.
to a play, go to a concert, go to a museum, go to
Yeah.
a tour, maybe.
A tour, yeah.
Circus.
The circus. Oh my gosh, I love the circus. I'm happy that you mentioned it. Yes. All right. Yeah, so mostly all those places which are in buildings, and you have to get your ticket, take your ticket to get in that place. So yeah, definitely. Where do we need a map? So easy.
On your cell phone.
On your cell phone. Yes. Well, you need a cell phone every every time that you go out,
Because
mostly these days.
maps,
Hmm?
teacher,
Sorry.
maps are disappearing because everything is by Google Maps, and maps maybe is keeping to the past, maybe,
Yeah.
or going to the past, because
Yes.
maps now is only Google Maps for everything.
Yes. Yeah. So we could say that it's outdated. As Helmut said, it's something from the past.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Go
It's not-
sightseeing.
Oh, yep. Definitely. That's the one that I was looking for. Go sightseeing. Yeah, we need a map to go sightseeing. It's not like we don't need maps anymore. What's changed is that we don't need a printed map. We need our map on our phones, and that's it. Yeah, so yeah, to go
Teacher,
sightseeing. Oh, sorry.
Teacher, sorry. Maybe we need a map also in a park or in a zoo, for example.
There you go. Yes, definitely. In a park, because some parks are very big, and also in a zoo, because yeah, again, it's very big. So all those places which are very big, you are most likely to need a map, even though it's going to be on your phone, but still you need it. Also in escape room, I guess. Escape room, or what's these maze places when you need to find your way to go out. So yeah, those kind of things are going to require you to be able to use a map. Then shopping. Where can we go shopping? Of course, in the souvenir shop. Where else? I
Maybe
always
on the supermarket.
don't. Can you repeat, please?
Ladies first.
Ladies first. Sorry. Go
Thanks.
ladies.
A grocery store.
The grocery store. Very good. Yeah, I like this one very much. Thank you, Pao. And what was the other one?
Supermarkets, maybe.
Yeah, very good. So grocery shop or the supermarkets, definitely. And I have here a convenience store. What is a convenience store?
You kill me.
Oh, who knows?
I don't know.
Somebody must know. What is a convenience store? It's not a mall. It's not a shopping mall. What is it? It's la tiendita. That thing that you have near your house where you go and buy small things, but you can find almost everything. It's not a supermarket. It's smaller than a supermarket, but it's called convenience store because it has everything that you may need, but it's a local shop. So la tiendita que está cerca de tu casa, that's the convenience store. All right, then we have malls, then we have department stores, like big things. But yeah, there we go. And yeah, finally we have this one that I told you that it looks like a museum. Rodri said that this is the White House, maybe. Yeah, so museums, universities, all buildings, art galleries too. I know a few art galleries that look like this, art galleries, and yeah, all those places where you go, and they are usually historic buildings. This is the one that I wanted to share. What did I write? Historic buildings. Right, so anything related to history would be looking like that. Yeah, so that's it. We have a lot of things, a lot of ideas here. Now I need to know if you know how to make an invitation, because that's why we are here tonight, because we need to make invitations and respond to invitations. So, Rodri, since you're here, how do you invite people to do something with you? In English, of course. What would you say if you want to go with someone to the museum tomorrow?
I start the conversation saying, would you like to go with me to some place? So, for example, to go to shopping. Would you like to go with me to go shopping?
Yeah. Would you like to go? That's perfect. Then you say the activity, shopping, for example.
Or go shopping?
And at the end, you say with me. Yeah.
Yes, that's because I am translating my phrase or the question.
Yeah, that's right. We tend to do that. So we speak English in the Spanish version.
Yeah.
We gotta be careful with that. But in English, it's always like that. Would you like to? Then the verb, whatever verb, and then the activity. Go shopping. Would you like to go sightseeing with me? Would you like to go to a restaurant? Yeah. Would you like to? It's a very common way to invite somebody to do something with you. Also, you can go straight and say, do you want to go, etc. with me? This sounds also...
I would like to say something.
Yeah, tell me.
You know, the way how you speak is different in the department who you stay, who you live. For example, here in Tarija, we are so kind with the people. So we would like, I wonder if I would like to invite something like that. But for example, on La Paz, I have nothing with La Paz, but there are more formals. Do you like to go? Do you want to go with me? Like serious person. That is why I would like.
Would you like? Yeah. So you're you are from a part of the world where people speak like that. I like it.
Yes, we used to speak like that. Yes.
Yeah, good. So yeah, it happens the same in English because usually American people are more straightforward. And then we have for example, the British people who would always say something like this, like, would you like to? I was wondering if you're free tomorrow, if you would like to go with me. So yeah, they tend to use more words. And yeah, this one sounds a little bit more formal or more polite, if you wish. This is the word that I'm looking for. So yeah, you could ask this to a friend. It's fine, but also you can use it to with your boss, for example, someone who is not your friend directly. And if it's your friend, if it's someone you know, already, then you have to say straightforward, like, do you want to go shopping with me tomorrow? So it's more straightforward, and it's because you know the person, of course. So it always depends on the context, right? So that's a good thing to point out.
I heard on the TV that people says, hey, let's go to shopping, or let's go shopping, for example.
Yeah. And that's where we are going tonight. That's also a very nice way to invite people to do something with you. Yeah. We start by these phrases, but if you are more confident with your English, you can go straight to what Rodri just said, like, let's go sightseeing, right? So you can be more straightforward. So here it's on the book, oops, the grammar box tonight is this one, and it's very brief because, yeah, it's something that you can add to your vocabulary very easily. It's not complicated at all. So it's making suggestions. When you want to do something with somebody, but you haven't decided what to do, then you can make suggestions. And to make suggestions, you can use let's and why don't. We have two ways, and they are completely separate in grammar because the meaning is very similar. So let's, you can use let's to talk about, well, to talk to people who you want to do something with, okay? When you say let's, you are included. If I say let's, it's because I want to be involved in the situation. For example, if I say, let's go sightseeing, that means that I'm also going. It's like you and me, let's go sightseeing. And of course, I can make it negative. If I don't want to do something because I don't like it, or I can't do it, I could say, let's not. In this case, let's not spend too much money. I have too many debts, I don't have a lot of money, so let's not spend too much money. Right? So it can be affirmative or negative. Let's do something, or let's not do that.
Teacher,
Yeah, tell me, Sarah.
what's the mean, let's not spend too much money? What's the meaning?
Yeah, so you are suggesting not to do something. In Spanish would be like, no gastemos tanto dinero.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Spend, to spend es gastar, ¿no?
Yes, spend.
Gastar dinero.
This one. In this context, of course, because spend also has different meanings.
Time also. No.
Yeah, spend time, pasar tiempo. Yeah, so it depends. But yeah, in this case, spend too much money is gastar mucho dinero. Let's not. No gastemos. And then let's go sightseeing. It's like, vamos a turistear in that case. Right? So you are suggesting things to do. I also use it in class to say, well, let's have a look at the book, or let's talk about something. Sometimes I'm not involved because when I say let's talk about our milestones, I'm not involved. I'm not going to talk. I'm inviting you to talk. So yeah, it's a very good way of inviting people to do something that you would like to. Yes, Juan Carlos, tell us.
Thank you, teacher. And what about the phrase, how about go sightseeing? How about to visit the museum? We can use that phrase too?
Yes.
Teacher?
Yeah, very good. Thank you very much for that question, Juan Carlos, because that's right. It's also useful to make suggestions, right? So yeah, here we have two ways, but also how about, it's a very good one. How about, it's followed by ing anyways, so be careful with that. You cannot say how about to go. It's impossible. You have to say how about going sightseeing. And then you have too many ings, but that's how it works. English is weird. So how about going shopping? How about visiting the museum? How about having a cup of coffee, etc. So yeah. How about plus ing? It's perfect. It also works to make suggestions. So for example, I could say, let's go sightseeing. And you could say, I don't want to. How about going shopping? You're making another suggestion. So it's perfectly well. Yep. And what do we have? On the other hand, we have why don't, which is also another way of suggesting things. So this is, of course, a question. Why don't you try a bus tour? Why don't you try a bus tour? So I'm suggesting something that you could do. In this case, I'm not including because I'm using only you. If I was included, I would say we, but I'm using you. So the previous one is let's because I am including the person who is speaking is included in the idea. On the second one, could be included or it couldn't be included, depending on the meaning. Then we have why don't we meet by the elevator? Why don't we meet by the elevator? So I'm suggesting a place where we could meet, right? So what is the difference between these two? Not much. The only difference is that on the second one, you are making a question. In the first one, with let's, you're not making a question. Also, what it is important to remember, and this is something that sometimes my students forget about, is that you need to use the base form of the verb. You cannot conjugate the verb. What is the base form of the verb? Does anybody remember? I told you this a few classes ago. So what is the base form?
It's the verb not conjugated.
There you go. Yes.
You're
The verb.
ready. You're ready. Say it.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, it is the verb when it's not conjugated. That means without to, or without ing, or without s, or without anything that you can add to a verb. So instead of saying to walk, walking, walks, I'm going to say just walk. The base form. Okay, so please do not conjugate the verbs when you are using these suggestions. Go, base form. Spend, base form. Try, base form again, and meet, base form again. All right, so that makes it easier. That's the only difference that you are going to find between how about and these other two. When you use how about, you mandatorily need to use ing. How about going sightseeing? How about not spending too much money? How about trying a bus tour? How about meeting by the elevator, etc. Right? So yeah, that's how you can make suggestions to plans that people already have. Let me know now if you have any questions. Does anybody have any question about anything that we have here?
Teacher, I have a question.
Yeah.
When we do the exam, practice, and others activities in the platform?
Oh, on my English lab?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So yeah, I'm going to be opening the activities on my English lab class by class. Okay. Sometimes I'm going to assign and sometimes I'm going to suggest that you can make some. So yeah, after each class, I'm going to assign at least one activity. So we are starting tonight.
Start tonight.
Yes, we're starting tonight.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. All right. Any other comment, question about this? All right. So yeah, that's it. It's not so complicated. It's something that you need to integrate to your vocabulary. That's it. Now I want to share some exercises that I have on my slides. So please let me start sharing again. And let me go to my slides. We are going to practice a little bit just with the idea of suggestions. All right. So where have I left all my exercises? Here they are. All right, so no, we are going to practice with the book now that we are here, so I can also tell you, let me change slightly my plan, that we have grammar exercises on the book. This is something that we haven't done, so let's go there. First of all, let me show you where you can find. Every time that we have a grammar box, by the end of it, they are going to tell you where to go if you want to make exercises about this, like a specific exercises. So in this case, we are going to go to page 127 and we'll see how it goes with those exercises. So you have exercises about the past simple, which is something we didn't complete in class, but you can complete it also on your own. And now we are working on this page, this one, 127. It's for making suggestions. So, sorry?
Sorry, teacher, I have a really good question, and I apologize if I didn't understand what is English love.
Yeah, I'm going to show you that.
Yes, maybe I lost the class. I don't know.
Yes, you did. It was a day that you left earlier. We talked about it. Yes, yeah. But don't worry, we will talk about that by the end of the class. So
okay, thanks.
You'll find it out. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that's grammar exercises. By the end of the book, you have all of them, and we are going to start by this one. At this level, you have listening exercises, right? So let's read the instructions. I'm hoping that you are completing this with me on your books. That's the idea of all this activity. And you have to complete the conversation with the words you hear. It's a dialogue, so it's something that you have to be paying a lot of attention to find out the blanks, the missing words. So let's start. Let me make sure that I'm sharing my sound because sometimes I don't, and I don't want to fail on this. All right, so I'm hoping that everybody is ready, and now let's go. Let's listen.
What do you want to do tonight?
Why don't we go to a concert?
Let's not go to a concert. They're so loud. I want to do something quiet.
Okay, why don't we go on a walking tour of the city?
No, it's too cold. Let's do something indoors.
Let me think. Do you like art? Why don't we go to a museum?
I don't really like museums.
Okay, I know. Let's go shopping.
Okay, sounds great. Do you want to have dinner first? Let's go to a sushi place.
We always get sushi. Let's not have sushi again.
Why don't we try that new French restaurant?
Perfect.
We got it. Do you need to listen to it for a second time, or are we good? You got it all.
Second time, please.
Second time? Yeah, let's go. Let's listen again.
What do you want to do tonight?
Why don't we go to a concert?
Let's not go to a concert. They're so loud. I want to do something quiet.
Okay, why don't we go on a walking tour of the city?
No, it's too cold. Let's do something indoors.
Let me think. Do you like art? Why don't we go to a museum?
I don't really like museums.
Okay, I know. Let's go shopping.
Okay, sounds great. Do you want to have dinner first? Let's go to a sushi place.
We always get sushi. Let's not have sushi again.
Why don't we try that new French restaurant?
Perfect.
All right, so you only needed to fill in the these blanks, with the grammar that we have been practicing, All right, so let's check. I'm going to write down the answers and you check your answers too. So I'm going to need your help. Let's see how it goes. Number 2, what do we have?
Let's not go.
Let's not go.
There you go. So let's not go to a concert. Yeah, so you see a suggestion here and it's a negative form. Let's not go to a concert. Perfect. What about number 3?
Why
Why
don't
don't we?
There you go. Why don't we? Okay, guys. So why don't we go on a walking tour of the city? There we go. And what about number 4?
let's?
Let's. That, as easy as that. Let's do something indoors. What does indoors mean?
Inside the
the
place?
house.
Inside the house.
Inside a house, inside a place, inside a building. So no out on the streets, inside somewhere. Thank you very much. Right. What about 5?
Let's.
We.
Why don't we?
Why don't we?
Yeah. In this case, it's why don't we? I agree with the ladies. Why don't we go to a museum? And the guy says, I don't really like museums. So what do we have on number 6?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go shopping. Very easy, easy peasy. Let's go shopping. And that sounds great. But what do we have on number 7?
Why don't we?
Let's.
In this case, we have let's again. Yes. Yes, we don't have why don't we? We have let's. Let's go to a sushi place. And they say, we always get sushi. What's the suggestion then in number 8?
Let's not.
Let's not.
Let's not. Yes, this person is tired of sushi. Let's do something different. And what's the suggestion in number 9?
Why
Why don't we?
There you go. Yes, why don't we? Perfect. Right, so yeah, now you have a dialogue with the grammar that we have been using or having a look at on the grammar box. So yeah, we have many suggestions, many ways of making suggestions. The idea for you when you are trying to use this is that you make sense, especially with the grammar. Here it's easy because you can always use the base form of the verb, so it's not as complicated as it could be if you had to conjugate the verb. So yeah, that's it. Quite easy. Now let's move on to the second exercise here. We have B. Making suggestions. Again, with why don't we, or let's not. And now you need to use the words in parentheses. And of course, more than one answer may be possible because yeah, that's how language works. So we have here, what should we do for dinner tonight? And the suggestion is, why don't we go to a restaurant? Why don't we go to a restaurant? Then we have 2 here. What do you want to do this weekend? And we have the concert. So, what is a possible answer here?
Let's go to a concert.
Yeah, very possible. Let's
And
go
why-
to a concert.
Why don't we go also?
Why don't we go? Yes.
Perfect. So why don't we go to a concert? That's it. If you are asking why don't we go to a concert, you need a question mark. So please don't forget the question mark. This one. Yeah, both are possible because yeah, they mean the same. So it's possible to make suggestions like that. What about our meeting starts in an hour? What can we do?
The same.
Let's
get a coffee first. Let's get
Yes.
some coffee first.
There you go. It's the same. Let's get some coffee first. Right, so you can see this is not complicated at all. Let's get some coffee first, or why don't we go for a coffee first? That's it. Then we
Why
have,
don't we get
Yeah.
some coffee first?
yes, perfect. Why don't we
sounds
get some
strange.
coffee first? No, why do you think it sounds strange?
why don't we get some coffee first? Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, it may sound a little less direct, maybe, but no, it's okay. They actually mean the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So a little difference would be that let's may be a little more direct, but no, they are okay. Now let's go with the next one. I'm really tired and I'm not really interested in seeing the city. So be careful with this one. The context is important.
Let's
What-
not go sightseeing.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Let's
Yes.
not go.
Let's not go sightseeing. Why not? Because the person is not interested. So do we have another way here or that's it? We only have one possible answer.
Why don't we go another place?
Ah, there you go. Yes, you're getting more creative. I like it. Why don't we go to another place? Or why don't we do another thing? Yeah, it
Yeah.
is possible.
Better.
Good. All right, so what about 5? Jim and Kate are coming to town. What should they do? We are talking about them, so careful also with the answer.
Why don't them go to a tour?
Yeah, why don't they go on a tour?
Let's take them to a tour.
Oh, even more creative here. Let's take them on a tour. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, but you couldn't say let's go on a tour because you are talking about them. You are not included. So that's why you have to use them or they, depending on the context. All right, then we have 6. I need help with my Spanish homework. What's the suggestion here?
Why don't you ask?
You ask.
Why don't you ask? Why don't you ask Maya? Yes.
Could be let's ask Maya.
Yeah, it could be. It could be, but it wouldn't make much sense because you would be included. It's not your homework, so yeah. It sounds a little strange in this case to say let's, yeah. I wouldn't recommend it. Yes.
Okay.
All right, then we have 7. I need some postcards. What's the suggestion?
Let's go to a souvenir shop.
There you go. Yes, let's go. Thank you very much. To a souvenir. What am I doing? Souvenir shop. Let's go. Or yeah, this is more direct. So why don't we go? It would be okay, but I think the direct way it's better this time. All right, so yeah, that's a panorama. Let's go with number 8. Let me clear everything up so I can move this. 8, do you want to go to the museum on Saturday? What would you say?
Let's not go.
Let's not go.
Yeah,
Let's not
pretty
go
much
on
sharp.
Saturday.
Let's not go on Saturday. Yeah? On Saturday. Why now? It's very busy on weekends. Weekdays are better. So, where are weekdays? This word here. Weekdays. That's the opposite to the weekend.
The 5 days, the 5 able days.
Yeah, there you go. The 5 first days of the week from Monday to Friday, weekdays. Thank you very much, Helga. Yes. All right, so let's not go on Saturday. It's very busy on weekends. Now, number 9, I don't have a car. Can you give me a ride to the concert? So what's the suggestion here?
Let's pick you up at 7 o'clock.
Nope. Because
No,
you're
let's pick-
included.
Ah, okay.
What? You're included. If you are picking the person up, sounds weird. What could it be?
Why don't pick you
Why?
up?
Why don't I pick you up?
I picked you, yeah, right.
Pick you up at 7. Why don't I pick you up at 7? So first of all, what does pick up mean?
Recoger.
Means recoger. Thank you very much, Analia. Recoger. Recoger. So now, why can I not use let's here? What is the problem with let's?
Because you include the other person who needs the
right.
The right, yes.
Yes, yeah, there you go. It sounds weird. It's like too
No,
inclusive.
it's okay. Now I understand. I was
Yeah.
thinking you have, how do you say, you are on reason? No, I'm just kidding.
All right, if you are right.
You are right, yes. Sorry.
Teacher,
Yeah. Yeah, tell me.
could I say, let me pick you up at 7?
Yes, that's perfect. Let me pick you up at.
Teacher,
Why is
excuse me,
yeah?
what is the difference in the pronunciation about up and at?
and
When we pronounce very short the two words.
Up and at. Yeah, the only difference would be in the last sound, like up with a P sound and at. It's inside your mouth. If it's very short, it sounds very similar. Pick you up at. So we put everything together, linking sounds. Pick you up at. So yeah, it's just a consonant sound, but the vowel sound is very similar. Up at.
Okay, teacher, and we can pronouncing a song in only song, for example, up.
No, no. Or like all together closing, no. It sounds a little strange too. So you need to pronounce the here. Apat. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Thank you for that question, because it brings me up to the idea that you always need to link the sounds. In English, we don't speak like, why don't I pick you up at 7? Which is something that my students always do. And in English, we don't speak like that. We link words. So why don't I, then we mark the sounds that are linked. Why don't I pick you up at all together? And then you have 7. So why don't I pick you up at 7? Everything together. So yeah, this is something that requires practice. I recommend practicing linking sounds, because yeah, it's quite necessary to train your ear, especially when you want to speak to a native speaker. And people tell me, oh, American people speak so fast. Sometimes they don't speak fast. The problem is that they are linking all sounds together. So yeah, you don't understand the words separately. And that is something that we need to train. Why don't I pick you up at 7? Everything together. Try it at home, practice, because yeah, that's something that's gonna be useful. Any questions or comments about this?
Tomorrow we will have questions.
No, we need questions now. I won't be with you tomorrow. All right, if you have questions tomorrow, write them down, because yeah, questions are important. Good. Yeah, now let's move on a little bit. Oh, I'm using the wrong button. Now I'm using the correct one. Let's go back. So yeah, that's the idea with making suggestions. So now you know that you can make an invitation like, would you like to go to the cinema with me tonight? And the other person may say, not really, I don't like the cinema, but the person can suggest, let's do something different, or why don't we go to a restaurant, etc. So now, instead of just saying no, you can give other ideas. That's what we're trying to practice. I was planning on moving on to the next unit. Let me go there right away because yeah, this is like a short unit. So let's go to the next unit, which is unit 2. And in this unit, we are going to talk about descriptions. Okay, so we are going to be focusing on descriptions. We are going to describe 2 similar things or more. We are going to describe personal traits like characteristics of people. And we are going to talk about how people do things. All right, so this unit is focusing on descriptions. Descriptions seem to be easy because, yeah, we know a few words and we can describe mostly everything. But sometimes they get complicated because you need vocabulary. What kind of vocabulary do you need for descriptions? It's adjective. Adjectives. So in this case, in this unit, I need you to bring up all your adjectives, all those words that you use for descriptions. What are adjectives? Does anybody know what an adjective is?
Something that defines maybe a noun.
Yeah.
Or, yes.
Describe.
Yeah, very good. So it's something that describes or defines a noun or almost anything really, but yeah, a noun. So when we talk about adjectives, we are focusing on characteristics of things, of people, of places, of animals, etc. Right, so what did I write? Characteristics. Oh my gosh, I cannot write. I cannot spell tonight. Done it. Okay, so yeah, we are focusing on characteristics. I want you to bring up your adjectives. And of course, you need the usual adjectives like big, small. I know you know these words, but now I want you to bring more adjectives, not just the usual ones, big, more, small, short, long, and all those basic adjectives that you learned when you were starting with your English studies. Now I need you to say something more than just the basic stuff, okay? So yeah, we are going to also have a look at some adjectives that may be useful. And let's move on there. Here also, we have a specific way in which we are going to describe things, right? It's not just my house is big, my yard is small, not just that. We are going to talk about senses, the senses. So that's why at the beginning I asked you, what does sight mean? And we had vista, which is a sense, right? So how many senses do we have?
5, and the girls has 6.
They have six? Oh my
Who?
gosh.
Who has 6?
5.
Girls.
Girls, I don't know. I don't know girls.
Yeah, I understand. Yes.
Right.
Maybe, yes.
I don't know. It's a funny remark. Yes, we usually have 5. 5 senses. What are the senses? Tell me the senses in English. We have sight, because
Sight.
we said that. Sight. What else?
Ear.
Yeah. So here. Sorry? Can you repeat?
Taste.
Oh, taste. That's a good one.
Taste, yes.
Taste.
One.
Touch.
Touch. Very good. We are missing one.
Smell.
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 Smell, nose, I don't know.
Smell.
Smell.
No, smell.
Smell.
Oh my gosh.
Like, okay.
Yeah, smell. Yeah, smell. Touch, taste, hearing, and sight. And what is the 6th one? I don't know about that one.
I think you don't wanna
Maybe-
know, you don't wanna that we know that was the 6th sense.
The microwaves,
Only the woman has it.
telepathy.
Only the woman has it.
Only the women.
Telekinesis, telekinesis.
All right, yeah. I'm not sure about that. I haven't heard. All right, yeah. So those are the 5 senses. Now we are going to use the senses to describe things. Okay, so more than just saying my house is big and my yard small, you are going to tell me how it feels, how it sounds, how it tastes. So you are going to need a lot of vocabulary here. Of course, tonight we are just going to start, but next class I'm going to give you tons of vocabulary. So many adjectives for you to be able to describe. So yeah, we have verbs that we used. For example, with sight, we use the verb look. It looks good. What is the verb that we use with hearing?
Sound.
There we
Listen
go.
to.
Here is here. Sound. With sound. Okay.
Sound, yes. In this case, to describe things, we are going to use sound. It sounds good.
It's
It
on
doesn't
noise.
sound, yeah, it sounds noisy. Yeah,
Sounds noise. Yes.
That's a
Loud.
it's loud. That's an adjective. Yes. All right. Taste. What is the verb that we use with taste?
Awful.
Taste.
Taste. Actually, it's just taste, like this one. The dessert tastes sweet. Oh, it's not the dessert, the dessert. The dessert tastes sweet. Taste. What
Mhm.
about touch? What is the verb?
Feel.
The
Feel.
same touch.
It's not touch,
Feel.
it's feel. Yes.
Feel.
Yes. For example, if
Feels.
I have here my card for English classes, it feels soft. It feels soft. So when I touch something,
La Paz, they say it feels rico.
it feels rico.
Oh, no.
I'm not sure about that in English. People are not going to get it.
Teacher, I have a question.
Tell me.
Feel is not an abstract perception
No, not really.
related to an abstract. No, like I feel good. I feel love. I don't know,
Yeah.
but
It's
not related to that a material thing.
yeah. Well, in English, it's related to both, like material things and abstract things. So yeah, you can use it in both ways. So yeah, I feel bad. Or I also, as I said, it feels soft. Perfectly correct. So yeah, when you're talking about touch, it's always feel to describe.
Okay, teacher.
Good. And finally, we have smell. What is the verb that we use for smell?
Smells.
Now,
Yeah, same one.
Same.
Yeah. All right, so this is the deal. When you are describing, you are not going to use the word sight. Nobody uses that word. You have to say look. It looks fine. Sound, taste, feel, and smell. Those are your verbs. Okay, 5 verbs that you need to keep in mind. Here we are going to have a look at some examples. Where is my tool? Here. So for example, if you are looking at something and you want to describe it, you can say, the view looks beautiful. If you say that in Spanish, it sounds weird because you would be using the same word twice. But in English, it sounds perfect. The view looks beautiful. So what does look mean in Spanish?
Se ve.
Se ve. There you go. Thank you, Sharon. Se ve.
The
Luce.
teacher look relaxed.
Yeah, probably. I'm not sure. Yeah, we heard something luce. Luce, it's also fine. Luce, se ve. Both are correct. Yeah, so that's what we mean when we say look. Also, we have another example. Yeah, Analia, tell us.
Teacher, and when you can use the it seems rare, for example, or
Yeah. It seems, I don't know, shy, for example,
Mhm.
if you're describing your pet. So yeah, when can you use it? Also, when you look at something, at someone, and you have the first impression. So it looks shy, or she looks funny. So yeah, it is also related with the sight. Yep.
Thank
But
Teacher,
yes,
excuse me for the question. How we can difference when to use looks, watch, see, seems.
yeah, all right. So we have now here many verbs. Let me tell you with some examples. Let me go to the board. We're going to need the board for this one. So, yeah. Oh my gosh, what happened to this one? Okay, so what are the ones? Watch, see, look, and sim. So let me try and make it bigger. Even bigger. All right, yeah. So we have watch. Watch is related to things that are in movement. Okay, so we usually are going to use watch when we are watching something that is moving. Okay, for example, that's why we watch a movie. It's moving. That's why we watch television, watch a football match, because everything is moving. See is more related to well, see and look, both of them are more related to just staring. Yeah, so let me put see and look. See and look are related to things that are not in movement, so you can see almost anything, right? Now everybody is moving on my board. Well, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, so see and look are related, not necessarily, of course, not necessarily to movement. It could be anything, like you can see a picture, you can look at the stars, all right? But if you're going to use watch, it's definitely something or people that are moving. Then we have look, which is a little different because sim means parecer. So it's not related to these words, to watch, see, or look, but it's related to the sight. Because if you think that something seems another thing, it is because you are watching them, right? So that's the deal with them, right? So the separation between watch, see, and look would be movement or not movement. Then look, it's also when you need to have a look closely to that. For example, if I'm going to show you something for the first time, I say, look at this. I show it, look at this. Like, I want to call your attention. But if I have something like this, I wouldn't say, watch this, doesn't make sense, or see this, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so look is also for when I want to show you something quickly. Look at this, or look at that, right? So also look works in that way. And yeah, that's pretty much the difference. Did I make any sense or still confusing? Let me know.
Thank you, teacher. For me, it's clear. So I can say watch that train that it's pacing.
Yeah, passing, not pacing, but yes,
Oh,
you can.
passing, yeah. Excuse me, teacher. Okay.
Yeah, no worries. So yeah, it's perfectly correct. Watch that train that is passing by, perfectly correct, because the train is moving. Yeah. But also if it's quick, I can say, look at that. If you keep watching, then it's another deal. But yeah, that would be the difference between those. It's very important to keep an eye on those differences because yeah, we tend to mistake watch and see especially. So yeah, keep that in mind. Right, now let me close the whiteboard and let me go back to the book. So we-
Thanks for the explanation.
yeah, no problem. It's perfect. So now let's go back. We were talking about the senses. And we were talking about the sight. Looks. It looks beautiful. Then we were moving on to tastes. Tastes. So the dessert tastes sweet. The dessert tastes sweet. What does taste mean in this case?
Sabe.
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 Ujú. Sabe de sabor, de saber.
Yeah, exacto. Sabe de sabor.
Yes, sabe delicioso. Do we use another word? I think that's it. Saber, de sabor. Yep. So it tastes related to how it feels in your mouth. Now let's talk about this. This sweater feels soft. This sweater feels soft, related to touch. So how do we say feels in Spanish?
Se siente.
Se siente. There you go. Yes. Se siente suave. It feels soft. Very good. Finally, we have smell. The sneaker smells bad. The sneaker smells bad. By the way, this is a sneaker, not zapatilla, or I don't know how you call
Oh,
it.
chocolates? Chocolates?
Chocolate? What do you mean?
Snickers is a
Ah,
name.
yes. Oh, they are delicious. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I get confused a little bit.
Yes. Yeah. But in this case, we're not talking about the Snickers as a chocolate. We're talking about this,
Yeah, I didn't
the thing.
so.
How do you say
Didn't
that
put it.
in Spanish? The sneaker in Spanish.
Huele.
Zapatilla.
Zapatilla. Yeah. The same thing that I said.
And it seems chapulines, not sneakers.
Oh, chapulines. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
we call Converse.
yeah.
Converse.
Yes. Converse.
Converse also.
Yep. So in that case, trainers or sneakers are just those like sport shoes, if you wish. Now, what does smell translate into Spanish?
Huele.
Huele.
There you go. Huele. And finally, we have sound. The music sounds terrible. So he's not enjoying the music. He's not enjoying it. So how do we say sound in Spanish?
Suena.
Suena.
Suena. There you go. All right. So how are you going to describe things using sensory verbs? Like that. Looks, tastes, feels, smells, sounds. Okay. So those are your verbs. Those are the things that you need to keep in mind in order to be able to describe, starting with your senses. That's the idea. Now we're going to practice a little bit with this vocabulary because, yeah, we need that. All right, so what do we have here? Let me get my tool and let me mark the instructions so we are all on the same page. So look at the pictures, complete the sentences with sensory verbs from 1A. Now you know this sensory verbs. Let's see if this works. We have a silk. What does silk mean? Silk.
Seda.
Seda.
There you go. Silk is seda. It's type of fabric. Fabric means tela, by the way. So the fabric is very soft. Then we have butter, which is this thing that we have here. A coconut, we have it here. A fire alarm, and a movie star. All right, so my new silk shirt. What can we use here? Tastes?
Feels.
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 Feels, there you go. It feels soft. Yeah, so now you're describing your shirt. Feels. Now we have butter. Butter, delicious on fresh breads.
Taste.
Taste.
Tastes.
There you go, tastes. We have a difficulty pronouncing this word because we have S, T, S. So we go from s. That's a sound that you are supposed to be making, tastes. So tastes, yes. It's a little complicated. It's like if we didn't have the E, tastes. So yeah, it's kind of a complicated sound. You'd be good if you practice this sound, tastes. All right, now we have this coconut.
Smell.
Smells. Smells.
Smells.
Looks.
Smell.
Looks or smells?
Look.
Look.
Looks?
Look.
Seems.
Look.
But the
Yeah.
coconut it's open.
Smells.
It's open. All right, I'm going to leave it there. We have looks and smells. We'll see which
But
one.
could be. Mm,
Yeah, which one is the correct one?
mm.
I think it's look, but yeah, we'll see. The fire alarm, very loud.
Sound.
So
Sound, yeah, very loud.
Ah.
Yeah, sound. So sound or sounds?
Sound.
Which
sounds.
Sounds with an S at the end.
With
I
an
need to
S,
hear
yes.
that S. Sounds very loud. But why? Because it's only one fire alarm, right?
Yeah.
So it sounds very loud. Loud, fuerte,
loud.
loud. Yeah, finally. Wow, that movie star, beautiful.
Looks.
Looks.
Yes. All
So
right.
buy look on the coconut.
Yes. All right. So I lost my bet.
Yeah.
I lost. All right. So yeah, that's the deal now. My example, it was a little ridiculous at the beginning because I told you my house is beautiful. No, my house is big. That's what I said. My house is big. That's how we usually describe things. My house is big, her hair is long, stuff like that. In this case, instead of just using the verb to be and an adjective, I want you to be able to describe how things are for you, how they feel, how they taste, how they sound, how they smell, etc. Right? So now we are getting into a kind of more complicated description, if you wish. Now let's have a look at the grammar part, which is yeah, something that we need to keep an eye on because we have some specific rules. It's not complicated, of course, but yeah, you need to remember because at the beginning of this part of the class of this chapter, I told you that we are going to compare. That's the goal, comparing two things, right? So in order to compare, you have to have one thing and another thing. How can you compare using sensory verbs? That's how we, and that's something that we are going to look at. So how to compare? For example, in order to compare, two things that are similar, that's the deal with this. When you are using sensory verbs to compare, two things need to be very similar. If they are not similar, then it is impossible to compare or to put them at the same level, right? So this is the key here. They have to be similar. Then what do you need? You need a subject, of course, something that you are comparing. Then you're going to use a sensory verb. Then you're going to use the verb like and an object. That means another thing that you are going to compare. So for example, we can say the shampoo smells like coconuts, right? So I am comparing the shampoo with coconuts. Why can I compare them? Because they are similar in what? Just in the smell, right? Probably they don't look the same and they don't taste the same, especially, but they smell very similar, right? So we have two things that are on the same level. Then we can compare your hair, example, your hair feels like silk. Oh, your hair feels like silk. When I say feel, of course, I'm talking about touch. Feels like silk, right? So
But
I'm
obviously
comparing.
you have hair.
Ah, yes, of course. That's the first thing that you need to focus on. Yes. If there's no hair, then there's no comparison.
Okay.
Yeah, so your hair feels like silk. Again, we are comparing two things that are on the same level. And yes, we are comparing something related to the touch, right? Not just smell or anything else. So they have to be in the same level. Could I say, let me just ask you guys, in order to understand what I mean when I say two things that are on the same level, could I say your hair feels like coconuts? Does it make sense? Is it possible?
No, it's not possible.
It's not possible. Why not, Pau? Possible. Why not?
Because the coconuts is so root.
Rough.
Rough, yes.
Rough. Yes.
Raw.
Yeah.
Raw. Áspero.
Áspero, yes. We say rough. Yes.
But we can change the sentence, no?
How could you change it?
For example, the color of your hair feels or looks like the coconuts.
Yeah, it could. Your hair looks like coconuts regarding color. Yeah, it could be. It's a little weird, your example, but it could be. Yeah. I say a
Teacher,
little.
and what about if the people is baldy?
Ah.
You can say that?
Like coconuts?
Yes.
Yeah, if the person is bald. Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Probably.
Teacher, what's the meaning of garlic?
Garlic, this one. Oh, garlic.
Yes.
It's a vegetable. Does anybody know what garlic is?
It's
Yes,
the poison for Dracula.
Okay.
Yes.
Your hair smell like garlic.
Let me check. Yes. Yeah.
That's because you are a cooker.
Dracula.
All right, yeah, so that's the idea. You have to compare two things that are similar because, yeah, if you compare your hair to a coconut, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. Or your hair to garlic, not really. It wouldn't work like that. So that's why I want to make emphasis on this. They have to be two similar things. I say this because sometimes my students tend to make comparisons that have nothing to do. Like, in order to make sense, they have to be on the same level, right? So, for example, they look like movie stars. So what are we comparing? People, we don't know how many, but they look like movie stars. It makes sense because, yeah, you can have people who look like movie stars. It's not too weird. Then we have her alarm. Her alarm sounds like a bird. So you are comparing two things that have something in common, the sound. So it is possible, right? So that's why I'm making an emphasis on the similar idea. Finally, we have this butter tastes like garlic, all right? So it makes sense because you have two things that are food, they could have similar ideas here involved. So
Teacher,
again, yeah, tell me.
this last sentence we can use with coconuts too. This butter tastes like coconuts.
Yes, it makes sense. It could be a very weird butter, but it could be possible. Yes, coconuts. So in this case, with taste, maybe almost anything related to food would make sense. But yeah, it also needs some kind of context. So whenever you're making your comparisons, please make sure that you make sense. Now let's have a look at the notes. We have the notes here, and the first one is that. Oh yeah, tell me.
Excuse me. when we use the letter A, like the Harold Armstrong, like a bird, this water tastes like, we can say a garlic or not?
No.
When
not
you use
really.
A.
Yes. All right. So you are going to use a when you are referring to only one thing, like a bird, not all of the verbs that we have outside. It's only one bird. Also, we cannot use garlic because garlic is uncountable. So this is also related with countable and uncountable things. Usually, uncountable things never take an a. Okay, so no a or an. What is uncountable? Things that you cannot count. So in that case, birds are countable.
Only when we refer diente de ajo, un diente de ajo, I see.
Yeah, a garlic clove, that makes
One.
sense. Yes,
Okay.
it's only one, but garlic in general, uncountable. Yes. It's the
Yes,
same
but-
with, sorry?
Did you say that birds are countables?
Yes. They are. You don't agree?
No, I don't know. It's when I was studying English time ago, I had that problems with the nouns, the countable nouns and uncountables, because for example, you says the bread is not countable. The bread is a piece of bread. If here we buy, please how do you say? Give me 3 breads, for example.
Birds, yes. But in English, that's impossible. It sounds weird. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we can make a review of countable and uncountable nouns next class. That's not a problem. Yep. All right. So another way in which you can never use a is because you have plurals. Okay. So if you have a plural noun, oops. How do we know it's plural? Because we have an S. So you can never use a or an with a plural sound. Silk, it's uncountable, so it is impossible to use a with silk. And coconuts, it's plural. All right, so only when you have singular countable nouns, you can use a. Singular countable nouns. This one. But yeah, we can make a review of this next class. It's not a problem. All right, so yeah, now let's have a look at the notes. Oops, here it is. So we have used a little or a lot before like to express the degree of similarity. So I can say the shampoo smells a lot like coconuts. The shampoo smells a little like coconuts, right? So you can express degree by using little or a lot. Then we have sensory verbs express states, not actions. Okay, this is important, not actions. Do not use sensory verbs or other non-action verbs in the present continuous. Okay, so you cannot say the shampoo is smelling like coconuts. No, because we are talking about states. It's always like that. It's not going to change regarding the progress of the action. It doesn't work like that. So don't use it in the continuous tenses. It's impossible. All right, so it's always present simple. Yeah, that's it. Next class, we are going to keep on working on this. But I have a question for you guys because our next class is on Friday, and on Friday we have census. So now I need to know if you have classes. For me, it's not a problem, but I don't know for you, if you're going to be busy, if you're going to be volunteering, I don't know. So let me ask you, we can decide right now.
Teacher, for me is not a problem.
Not a problem? Yeah, for me, no. So yeah, we are 2 people already. Now, let me see what the rest of you think. Let me launch my poll as always. When I say on Friday, I mean this Friday only. Don't think that it's always on Friday. So Friday the 22nd? Yes, the 22nd. Alrighty. Yeah, we have a lot of people saying yes, and I'm happy about it because, yeah, it's better if we have classes on Friday. So Friday, same time as always, and yeah, we'll be good. Now, I have another question for you because on Monday, this Monday, I still have the second part of my workshop in La Paz. So I'm not going to be able to be with you again. Let me share the results. Let me steal some minutes from you. So we are having classes on Friday, definitely. Now, on Monday, this Monday, I still have to give the second part of the workshop to people in La Paz. So I want to ask you if you want to have an asynchronous class or skip the class, and then we can have it at the end of the semester. So let me launch it again and we can decide. If it's asynchronous, I'm going to record it. I'm going to upload it. And sorry?
No, I was reading the chat.
All right, yes. Yes, you're taking my class in La Paz, so maybe for you it's better asynchronous or skip the class. I don't know. Yeah, let me know. Whatever option you decide is fine for me. Yeah, if we skip the class, we have to take it by the first week of June, like June 2nd. So yeah, it depends on that. Let me wait for some more votes. We still have some people voting.
That's democracy.
Yes, I don't like democracy, but that's life. All right, yeah, I think we have enough people, and yeah. So we are going to have an asynchronous class. I'm going to record it and upload it to LMS. So you have to be ready to use LMS. And I'm going to give you all the instructions for that. So I'll see you on Friday. We are going to keep on working on this. After the class, I'm going to share some exercises on my English lab. So please be sure to make them. And I'm going to send a screenshot so all of you can remember to complete that. If you have extra questions, stay with me. If you don't have extra questions, you may go. Thank you very much for your time and your participation tonight. I really appreciate you guys. And I'll see you on Friday.
I will see you on
See
Friday.
you Friday.
See you Friday.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.
Rodri, tell
Thank
me.
you very much, teacher.
Yeah,
Good
no
night.
problem.
teacher.
See you.